Ladies and gentlemen, this show is brought to you exclusively by the Reality Check Podcast Network.
Welcome, everybody, to the Rad Turtles Wrestling Podcast. A hard-hitting, in-depth, cutting-edge look at today's product in the world of professional wrestling. Now, without further ado, here are your hosts, Rad Rob Francois, and the Aussie guy, Dean Galloway. From the RTW studios in Smyrna, Tennessee, outside of Nashville. I'm not going to fucking do that. Fuck that guy. We're not going to act like that asshole. Welcome back to the Rad Turtles Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Rad Rob Francois, along with my co-host, Johnny Podcasting, John Wangland. What's going on, John? We got a very special guest tonight, a controversial guy on Twitter.
We got the king.
We do have the king. Well,
I had to anoint him as that today because you know what? I'm going to say it, man.
He's one of the few guys left, right?
He lives the fucking gimmick, man. And you know, as we've had our beef with the grapplers before and all that stuff, you know, we're all sitting over here as people that are talking here as just normal human beings because that's how it works in life. Stupid shit gets blown out, whatever it might be. But man, I got to put it out there that he's the king of the Mark Slayers, man. I have anointed him that today, and I think. You know, if it was me, I'd put that in the title of the name because he's earned it, man. He lives the moniker, he goes the monitor, man.
He lives the moniker so far as I fucking believed everything that he said when we had our Twitter beef here a few months ago. Like, I legit had heat with this guy and blocked him and wanted nothing to do with him ever again. But I respect him for representing the mask proudly and never breaking character like some of his cohorts have done. So, we're going to blow up enough people on the show, but let's talk about the man of the hour here. The man that truly tells the truth is the number one Mark Slayer. It is Grappler IX himself. Mr. Grappler IX, how are you doing tonight? And we really appreciate you being on the show. And given our past history, this might be a little controversial and rub people the wrong way, but we are smart enough to know that we can bury the hatchet and we can do business because we do have a common enemy or enemies. So it's really good to have you here, man.
Oh, I'm doing just fine. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be on a worldwide trending podcast instead of some D-League jobber podcast.
Ooh, shots fired already. This is going to setting the tone early.
That's why it's good to be king, man. I'm telling you, the king is calling it out there, right, man? He's saying it. Those people out there, man. He spits nothing but the truth, and he spits the fire out there, and we're glad to have him.
That's why I'm the logo.
That's right. You are the logo, and you are a very highly touted guest. And we know several other people that wanted to have you on their shows, but you actually picked us, and we can't be happier than about that because you haven't. You had your say on the Bro Show last week, but you haven't really given your whole story about what's been going on. So I'm going to let you start out. We're going to play off of you. This is your platform to say whatever you want about Grappler VI and his direct response from last week on the fucking Midnight Hack show. So the floor is yours, buddy. What do you want to start talking about?
Well, first off, Grappler VI, he goes on this podcast, tries to act like he's my dad. He calls me out for all kinds of stuff, acts like he's going to reach out to me. Haven't heard anything from him. Not a word. I've called the man. I've texted him. I've done everything. Haven't gotten a hold of him. He won't contact me back, but he's like, I'll reach out to him. He's basically hiding from me. Hell, I bet right now, because I saw him tweet it out earlier from a DM you sent me, that he's going to be on Russo's show tonight, but he's probably in hiding because I'm on here right now. Knows I can't go on there and give it to him for ducking me and lying about it.
Wow, that's pretty fucked up if that's really what happened. I know from that other show that he was on last week that he mentioned that you were having some issues this past summer, and you had a hiatus from Twitter for a little while, and he said he reached out to you to see how you were going on. Can we confirm that or deny that he actually did that? Because, I mean, I want to tell the whole truth here.
No, I was actually debating on if I was leaving the group or not. Seven knew about it.
Yeah.
And he did contact me. He contacted me so much and annoyed me so much, I actually had to change my phone number because of him. Biggest mistake I have ever made was giving that man my phone number.
Wow.
Don't give your phone number to strange people in masks on the internet. That is my advice to you.
Yeah, that's one thing I've learned just from.
And now when I call him or text him, I have a text app with a fake number, so in case he tries to blow me up, can't do it.
Wow.
And he's the kind of guy who, if he sees you doing something on Twitter he doesn't like, because he's got to be in control. He's a control freak. Everything's got to be his way, his way, his way. He will call you. If you don't answer, he will call you 5 more times to make it 6. He's all about the number 6.
That makes a lot of sense. And I will say this from my dealings in the past with Grappler IX. When we started this podcast, earlier this year, and we initially had 6 and Ocho on the show to talk about the whole Matt Kuhn thing, because Matt Kuhn had also, follower shame me, and that's when my show started to blow up because of the attention that I got from that fucking moron. I reached out to 6, and he reached out to me, and I said, thanks for reaching out. I'm glad you guys have my back. He said, anytime you want to throw up the Grappler, bat signal, like, we'll come and help you out, which was cool. And I was like, well, what do you want to come on my show? And he said, yeah. He's like, let me see what I can do. Maybe I'll grab Ocho or somebody else and we'll come on. So they did the initial show. And then, like, maybe a few months later, I want to do a WrestleMania kind of recap show with them for our Radmania week. And he said, yeah, let me see who I can gather up. So, like, he ran traffic for the Grapplers. Like, I never had spoken to 7. To this day, I've never spoken with him, like, on Skype, face to face or anything like that. 6 was always the one that said he would arrange to get guests on our shows. So by proxy, I thought he was the leader because that's kind of how he put it to me. But in your dealings with those guys, like you said, he's a control freak. That kind of makes sense now. While the name going out there is that Grappler 6 was in charge and 7 wanted nothing to do with it. But in your dealings with 7, how was he hands-on with the group at all? Like, what were your discussions? Because you said you're friends with him, so we're not talking out of school here. But like, what were your, like? Did he know what 6 was doing? Like, what was your relationship with 7, and how much input did he have on what you guys did on Twitter and stuff like that?
Well, 7 was a fan of mine. 7 really liked what I was doing. 6 would always contact me and try to reprimand me and be like, delete that tweet. You're going too hard on these people. This, that, and the other. And 7 would always just tell me, I like what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. And I would more so deal with him and listen to him, not because I'm someone's bitch or something. I can cuss on here correctly.
Yeah, no, you can say whatever you want, dude.
Okay, fantastic. Well, it's not
let it rip, dude.
It's not because I'm his bitch or anything, but I respect the group. These 2 guys know each other in real life, and I assume the fact that they know each other is, how it's spawned, but 7 is the de facto leader. 7 is the one who reached out to me initially from when I was doing something else on Twitter on a different, alias or whatever. He's the one who reached out to me because he liked what I was doing so much. I didn't even start interacting with 6 until a couple months in, where he's like, hey man, can I get your number? This, that, and the other. But 7, he had a lot to do with the group. He was the creative mastermind behind our most viewed video on our YouTube page, the Cribs video. Yeah. But he also let 6 do a lot of stuff because he didn't want to listen to him nag and complain. Like 7 mentioned on that other show, he did leave the group before. And he left the group because of reasons I'm discussing right now about 6 being a control freak. His purpose in life is to wear this mask. That's all he cares about. This is what gives him purpose, I believe. This is his midlife crisis, personally.
Okay, that's fair.
And he would just let 6 feel like he was the leader because 7 and I don't like to wear these masks and put them on and parade around on shows and go into public places, pretend to get haircuts, take Starbucks selfies with a mask on. No, like, I'm not a bizarre man who likes to just walk around in a luchador mask in public.
I mean, Ocho literally went bowling and took pictures from the bowling alley, like with the professional, like Parker Bone Jr., and I'm a bowling guy, so I know who he is, and literally wore his mask the entire time.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
I mean,
that's all you can say.
Right? I mean, that's everybody knows. Like, that's how much of a mark for himself that Ocho is, and from what I've heard, 6 is the same way.
Yeah, it's like me going to meet some celebrity or something and wearing my mask. Look, I'm Grappler IX. Like,
right?
Fucking weird, dude. Like,
yeah, right.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that. Now, getting back to what Six said on the show, he said when he called you out on some of your tweets, he was just giving you constructive criticism. So you're telling me that it was more of trying to control you, and he's just nagging all the time, telling you what to say, trying to filter you, because you're a pretty outspoken guy. I'm gonna give you credit. Like you got me completely hot to where I want to. I'm not gonna lie. I want to beat your ass if I ever saw you. Like, that's how pissed off I got at you. But I now understand in hindsight, you were just playing. You were protecting your gimmick.
That's right.
More so than anybody else.
I just got to do it in a creative way. I guess that's probably why I'm not banned, because I know how to dance around certain subjects, not get myself reported. I've never even been suspended off of Twitter, and I'm probably the one labeled the most aggressive, meanest grappler. It's not because I'm mean. I'm just honest when I slay marks. That's the whole point of this, right?
That's your job, right? That is your job.
Six is very obsessive and controlling. Like, back on like him filtering me. Yeah. I didn't do much. I got labeled as the Twitter-only guy, the guy who doesn't do podcasts. I just sat around in them quiet and smoked some weed on a podcast or whatever. But mainly, I just was letting Six do his thing like 7 did, you know. And when I made that PSA, for example, for Matt Coon about not smoking indoors with your children, I had to re-record that 6 fucking times. And it probably has to do with him being obsessed with the number 6. Everything's got to be 6. Mm-hmm. And it was so watered down and filtered by the time it got released, I was ashamed of it. Like, it started off great. And the fucked up thing is, I recorded it outside last winter. You're close to me. So you knew we had those record colds where it was like negative whatever outside.
Yeah, it was cold.
I recorded it outside in negative degree weather to prove a point to this fat slob Matt Coon that you can simply walk the fuck outside and smoke a cigarette. Why do you got to do it inside? Like, if I can go outside and freeze my balls off.
John's a smoker and lives in New York. He knows about cold temperatures as well. So
I never would. One time, I agree with you, man. It's 20 degrees below zero, and if I'm dumb enough to be a smoker and I have to go out of my house because there's no way I would subject my children to it or anybody in my house that doesn't do that, it's wrong. I don't even go near anybody, man. I'll freeze my ass off like a moron if I'm going to do it. So
your house smells like shit. It gets in the walls, like
it'll stain your walls, your curtains.
Right. I was a smoker. I'm a reformed smoker, so I get it. I did the same thing.
If you're hopping out there in the middle of the winter, man, you got to give credit to him for that. I remember that video too.
Yeah,
it was to prove a point. And like, I used to be a smoker. Like, I've been an off again smoker for about 12 years. I actually quit about a year ago now.
Good for you.
Good. Because like where I work, you actually can't even smoke on company property. You have to walk off the fucking property and get rained on or freeze to death. Fuck all that.
Yeah, fuck that. Yeah.
So and plus my health insurance is cheaper if I don't smoke. There's a lot of perks to that. But But no, I was just proving a point, like freezing my ass off out there to record this video, and he'd be like, "Well, I don't like that. It's too this. It's too that." Redo it. Send it to me again. And I'm like, man, what the fuck? But I wanted to put it to Matt Coon that bad and call this dude out for being a piece of shit. Then I went out there and I just kept doing it until he finally fucking approved it. And like I said, by that point, I didn't like it. Wasn't me.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's unfortunate because, like, there's no reason why you should censor somebody, especially when your whole gimmick is about slaying Marks and slaying wrestling fans that are just fucking, they're beyond reproach. I mean, they just love, like the AEW guys especially, just live, eat, breathe, and sleep everything those fucking guys do, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. They fucking suck the balls of Cody Rhodes every day. And, like, those are people that should be put out to fucking pasture. I mean, to be honest. So that, you know, you should not have to be filtered when it comes to stuff like that. Or even Kuhn, who's one of the biggest fucking douchebags in the world. Like,
Right.
It should have been all guns blazing when it comes to that asshole.
Like, he even admitted on the last Truthless Consequences that we didn't do half the shit he said we did, and he was just trying to call us out because he thought we were bad for the brand. And I'm like, this is the kind of guy I'm sitting here going after. You're filtering me against? Are you serious?
Yep.
And like, the whole homophobia thing with him, like, no one said anything like that to him. And, you know, he just made all that up. So, fuck Matt Kuhn. I still rep the banner to this day.
Yeah, FMK for life. Fuck Matt Kuhn for life. So, I mean,
check out the latest episode of Wrestling with Reality, Grappler IX, and you'll see a great little tangent at the end on him and his most recent tweets there. So we had to slay the big Mark over there and be an honorary slay on this one here because he's just something special, man.
Oh hell, I was fucking with him on because I wasn't blocked on Total Engagement. And I noticed that, and I saw he had one Patreon subscriber, so I was going around saying, it's me, it's me.
Yes, I saw that.
And I was telling him, I was like, man, all these great perks I got from Patreon. We had a meet and greet at McDonald's. He got stuck in the place. Fucking, I got some cigarettes from him, some whiskey, a half-eaten Slim Jim, some shit like that, and he blocked me. But that's, of course, what I was after.
You know, we should all join his Patreon at the $2 tier because I saw he's got a $2 tier, you know, so we should all go join it just for shits and giggles to give him $2 a month to just harass him on the Patreon.
I like McDonald's. I wouldn't mind having a meet and greet there. I'm a big fan of McDonald's.
Hell, they have the big ribs back. That's a hell of a time to go right now.
Oh, really?
Yes, it is. There you go. That's a great
all right. Well, hey, you know, maybe we can become patrons of Total Disengagement there for that, as long as we're getting some meet and greets. If he buys us a McRib, it makes it even better.
That's less cigarettes he can buy, though, and...
Well, he'll be double fisting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? He's good at that.
Yeah. Fucking Diet Dr. Pepper in one hand, cigarette in the other.
Yeah. You know, John, you mentioned honorary grappler. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that's
this fucking guy.
That's fucking Magic Mike here. Fucking Mike Norengonger. I'm gonna call him by his shoot name here.
Guy. Oh, my Lord.
Listening to the show with 7 and 6 and seeing all his Twitter interactions over the last few months, this fucking guy, they want to call me a stalker for putting out Ocho's private info, and we'll get that a little bit later. Like, Ocho was fucking dumb enough to not protect his identity, so he deserved whatever he got. But this fucking guy, Mike Norengonger, right? He literally thinks he's in the fucking Grappler group. Like, he said on his show, I was right there with you guys, slaying marks and having fun and DMing you guys and emailing you guys back and forth, and you're all my friends and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this fucking guy thought he was part of the group or wanted to be part of the group.
Hell, just the other night, before he did his podcast with Six and tried to act like he was fucking my buddy, but wasn't. He fucking got a Slade mark. He fucking got someone to block him, stole our Slade gimmick. Fucking tagged me in it like, oh, I'm still a Mark Slayer like Grappler 9. And this motherfucker tries to bury me the next day. Are you serious?
I mean, that just tells you the integrity of this fucking guy, right? But, like, how creepy is it and how fucking stalkery is it to fucking, like, think that you're part of the group? Like, it's just fucking weird, man. Like, this guy's obsessed with the Grapplers, and he wanted to fucking mend fences and all that. Like, this had nothing to do with this fucking guy.
Nothing.
It's like, nothing at all.
Lucky that fucking Seven chose him. Seven could have chose so many people, and they would have gladly done it. Hell, he could have. Seven, if he really wanted to, he got invited. You guys were on the Twitch. He got invited on to Castrating the Marks with Vince Russo.
Yep.
He turned it down. I was the one who made that contact with him. He said he was retired from podcasting.
Which I get.
Wasn't going to do it. He was retired from grappling podcasting. So, I mean, Magic Mike just got lucky. Very, very lucky.
Yeah, he did. A gift got dropped in his lap. So, and I'll admit, he got 3 extra downloads out of it from me, John, and Dean. So, I mean,
he got one from me. I had to hear my boy Seven on there.
There you go. That's 4 more than he would have had before. So I mean, that was an instant success on his
every
show.
grappler probably downloaded it because they
Yep.
wanted to hear what he had to say. Blah blah blah.
I didn't even know about it till Gary, aka Paint Chip. We'll throw it out there. So
Paint Chip, yeah.
Paint Chip, Gary.
We'll get into him in a second too.
And I love Gary. Gary knows we're fucking joking here, man. So I just love it. The back and forth banter you two guys have. Gary's a fucking great guy, man. Yeah, I love Gary to death. Gary's like, you got to go listen to this fucking guy, man. I was like, really, where? And he's like, here's the link there. Because I have listened to a couple of his shows before. And I'm a big 90s fan of stuff. So I used to like some of the shit he did. And then I realized listening to his show what a bunch of drunken fucking homophobic, racist pricks these guys really are. Because like if you really listen to his show, man, that's not being a Matt Coon shamer there, man. Go listen to these idiots out there. These guys are something, man, like with what they say on this shit. And it's just all that horror stuff, and I'm not into it. I'm like, this is crap here, man. So
but he literally like alienated his entire fucking fan base for the last 2 weeks now to fucking put on the Grappler story.
And he was going to do it again for me, but
he was
not happening.
He was sitting over there in this interview. Both of them I listened to, and I'll never again listen to any of his shit unless it's got something relevant and interesting and funny that we can clown on him again. You have to be so non-self-aware of what a doofus you sound like on this thing, because it made me question Nine if it was real or not, because I'm like, how could anybody be this love scorned over this whole thing? Like, you know, love scorned like over the whole thing. Like it's like somebody,
7 broke his heart, right?
No, it was like to me. Like guys, like here it is. This is how I equated it. You guys have read the book or seen the movie Old Yeller, right?
Yeah, take out. Yeah, I always reference it when I've referenced the Grappler dog. I'm always like, I took him out to pasture.
Yes,
yep, took him out to pasture. Yep, I remember that right there now. So it's like somebody made him take out his little Old Yeller out there to pasture in the situation, and plugged him with a fucking shotgun right in front of him. Made him go slaughter it and prepare it for dinner tomorrow. That's how he was acting when Seven did the heel turn on him. Like he lost his fucking best puppy, his friend, his Old Yeller. I was like, either this guy is just
obsessed. He's obsessed. He's literally obsessed with the Grappler.
He is so stupid that he doesn't realize he looked like the biggest jabron in the world.
But he's a man of his word, John. He's a man of his word.
Thinks like he was posting some shit about like someone's like, "What Grappler are you?" And he's like, "I'm Charlie, and they're my angels." I'm like, "What the fuck is this Mark talking about, dude? Like you're nobody. You're not a Grappler. I'm just waiting for him to buy a mask and stick a number on it and try to say he's a Grappler."
Like he probably will.
He probably will. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him. This guy's fucking creepy as shit. Like,
well, 6 and Ocho probably got. That's probably their big announcement tonight on the Russo thing.
They're going to expand with him.
They're going to have a show on the WLW studios, man.
Yeah,
the
Grappler fucking ever, man. With
Grappler 69 is here. Yeah,
better and stronger than ever though. But with who? You got fucking Ben Stein, fucking dry. Red Eyes, monotone Grappler 6. You got, I'm the Ocho! I'm the... fucking Ocho.
Fucking like, Darth Ocho. Yeah.
What's he do? He fucking... I destroyed him on fucking Vince's show, doubled Vince's viewers by coming on, and then shit on him the whole next day on Twitter. Hasn't talked to me since. In fact, he's the one who kicked me out of the Grappler chat because apparently 6 hasn't been around. I don't know about that. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. I know he loves to see himself talked about and hear his name and hear his number. So he might be lurking. He might not be. I'm not too sure. Like I said, I'm not in Grappler chat any longer.
Nine, you know what the best part about the Twitch...
Hold on, he got kicked out of the Grappler chat.
I did. I got kicked out of the group DM.
Like the private DM. Like that's... How petty is that, right?
They didn't even kick me out to I guess my face or to my ear, I guess, for on the phone. They fucking told me on some nobody's podcast. What if I didn't listen to that? Because I almost didn't. Because I didn't want to give this jabroni a download. I didn't want to hear what 6 had to say. But I turned it on because I was told by some people that, dude, he said some shit about you. I was like, really? Yep. I was like, really? I guess he had to defend his boy, his pride and joy. Cam Whore Ocho.
Cam Whore Ocho.
I'm just wondering when he's going to show his tits for money on Russo's stream.
I mean, Troy would probably pay for that. I'm
just
saying.
You hear, he might. And if you hear this, Ocho, which I know you'll listen, show me your tits and I will cheer you some bits.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, fuck
He
me.
would break out the revealing crop top and fucking start flashing them.
Do you know what the best part of that Twitch stream was? Okay, it was a Sunday night. It was a boring Sunday night.
Yep.
And I get a message, and I'm like, go fucking on Russo's Twitch. And I have not been on Vince Russo's stuff in ages, man. I just don't
haven't
listen.
either. Gary sent me a DM and told me
Yeah,
to go.
yeah,
I
I
was
think
ready to
it's-
go to bed, and I'm like, well, fuck that. I'm not going to bed now.
Chris sent it to me, and then this is what I turn on. You burying him to the point of he was like almost like trembling in fear, it seemed.
Fucking like
almost
rocking back and forth. Yeah.
And then here's my co-part here, man. The guy that does tend to get me in trouble a little bit sometimes here. Putting out there, and he's just burying him in the chat. Vince is reading his messages in the chat there. So I'm like,
pretty brutal. Yeah.
I go, I got to say something here. Nine's just burying this guy to the nth degree. So I just got to chime in here. I said, Vince, Midnight Mike should pay you advertising money for this right now because it's the most exposure he'll ever get for his crappy show.
Yeah, Vince even tweeted at him. He's like, "You should pay me money for
Yeah,
the
he
did.
publicity
He
I
did.
got you."
Yep.
And he read it on the show, and I was just like, "Oh God, this is fantastic!" Right here, I was like,
I just saw Russo tweet out breaking Grappler news. I'm like, what the fuck, breaking Grappler news? I'm a grappler. What the fuck's going on here? I don't go in Vince's stream, like especially on call-in night, because I know Ocho's going to be there. I don't want to listen to some fucking man breathe heavily and do this bullshit.
Look at the guns!
Yeah, like that's not funny. Like that's corny, man. Like my 3-year-old daughter would think that was lame as shit.
Yep.
And he's a grown man on there screaming like a little kid and fucking on the Xbox on some Halo. Like, Like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, you're way older than me acting like a child.
But he's the most over grappler. Did you know that?
Apparently he's the one who's the best on camera, and I'm the Twitter only guy. And then I fucking
Like you might be the
exposed
logo, but
fuck
he's
out of him.
he's the face of the franchise, according to him. So.
"Oh Lord."
Well, let's talk about Ocho for a second, okay? So, when this whole war started between John and I and the Grapplers, I had made a comment to Grappler 7. I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to be completely transparent and honest on this show. Not like some other fucking assholes that are just sucking their dicks off. So, I got in a fight with Grappler 7 because he was slaying a mark and he was follower shaming them, and I shouldn't have took this publicly, and I will admit that right now. I should have messaged him in private, and I didn't. That's just me. That's my temper getting the best of me. So I said, look, hey man, this is the same that Kuhn did to me. Like, this is how the whole shit started. Like, it's probably not a good look for you guys to do that. And he could have taken the polite route and messaged me in private and said, yeah, man, that's fucked up. Can you delete that tweet or whatever? But instead, he decided to go off on me. So.
Kevin's like me. That's why we get along. We're both hot-headed and
right. Exactly.
Good guy. We're not going to expose ourselves. We're not going to play nice. We're fucking Mark Slayers.
I was out of line. I'm going to admit it. I was out of line. I shouldn't have done that publicly. So I do understand why he's protecting the gimmick and going off on me for that. So we just started fighting, back and forth. 6 got involved. I think 11 got involved, or X. I forget. I can't even.
Gift Master 11.
Yeah, Gift Master 11. I love that. So I kind of deserved what I got, but in order to really strike hard against you guys, I had to look for your weakest link, and the weakest link was Ocho.
Or 11. Hell, he blocked you. You slayed 11. That's the weakest link.
I did slay 11. He did block me about a month ago. I mean, this is well after this stuff here had happened. Like, I was on pretty good terms with him, and I'll mention some stuff that we talked about in private, because, I mean, that's what everybody else is doing. 6 and 7 are going to fucking blow the lid on everybody, so I'm going to do the same thing.
I'm just ashamed to share a mask with 11, and
No, I agree. Literally, he slayed me. I slayed him. He blocked me, which is the essence of your entire gimmick.
That's a slay.
That is a slay. I do have one slay under my belt.
That's all I really have to say about him. I just can't put over enough. I am truly ashamed to share a mask with that man.
Yeah, no, and rightly so. But getting back to Ocho, this guy was dumb enough to not protect his shoot identity, and all his public information is out there. And I don't have to rehash it. I don't want to. Everybody knows. If you want to find out who he is, just search. No, never mind. I won't do that. I won't be an asshole and do that. But it's out there. I tweeted out his his personal name and his shoot YouTube channel and all that. And Six wants to talk about 7 being a mark. He kind of fucking buried Ocho as well on that show.
Seven. None of what he said about 7, by the way, is true. I do not have the DMs any longer because, like, once you get your account suspended, all of the DMs that you sent to people are gone.
Yeah,
but I did have DMs. I wish I could show them. If I could, I would. Of Six showing me in the Grappler cave on his wall on a shelf. He's got a bunch of fucking toys and replica belts, and he was showing them to me, bragging about them. Oh, I've been collecting these for whatever amount of time. Blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, I really don't give a fuck. Like, hold
on. Are you ribbing me, dude? Like,
no. I would post the pictures, like I said, if I could. But like,
that's a fucking shoot. Like, after all the shit that he said about 7, that's a fucking shoot.
Yep.
How fucking hypocritical is that?
I mean, he's claims to be a man of integrity, right?
That's what he says.
But I asked him one time to make me a T-shirt for me, for the Grappler thing, so I could wear it on whatever the hell I did.
Right.
And he asked me to PayPal him $24.96 for the shirt, and I'm like, that's a really odd fucking number. So I just PayPal'd him $25, and he rejected the payment. And told me, no, I want $24.96. And I'm like, what a fucking weirdo.
That is really weird.
I PayPal'd him the $24.96. Guess what? He stole my money. He never gave me the T-shirt. To this day, I do not have this shirt. And I paid this man $24.96 for the shirt. But as an adult, whatever, dude. If you need that much money, the measly amount of money that bad, that you're going to steal $24.96 from me, whatever, dude. Fuck it. You need it more than me.
But to one of your own guys, that's fucked up. You know what I mean?
It's not like $24.96, man.
Wow, that's breaking news right there. Like, I never knew that, and that just shows you the fucking kind of guy this guy is, and
integrity.
And a man of integrity.
Man of integrity, man. A man of integrity would go and send this man his money back right now when he hears this, because we know he'll hear it. So
let me throw this out there.
He probably hears it and sees everything I've said and done. He's just sitting back like a little cuck lord. He's just sitting back, trying to send fucking little Ocho at me, getting him buried, hiding from me, dodging me like a little cuck, just sitting back watching. Why? What? What's going on? And then he's going on Russo show knowing I'm here.
That's it's just the level of hypocrisy with that man. It's just let me throw this out there. I know we fucking hate Matt Kuhn, and he is a big fat disgusting pile of shit, and we will never ever support him for anything. At least he paid off a fucking wager that he made online. I forgot what it was about. John, you probably remember what it was about, but
it was a bet about AEW, because he said that AEW on their first week
we get $4 million or something.
No,
like that?
$1.5 million. He said we get $1.5 million. It drew,
and it got 1.4. Right.
Yeah, and he paid Aaron the money because he had blocked Aaron before, and he had paid Aaron the money. Feeney helped him, I guess, get it or something, because Feeney and Kuhn are BFFs there. So
don't even get me started on that.
Yeah,
we do a whole other show on that one. But
they're not even gonna get to that one. But so he helped him get his money back, and then Aaron had to get some digs in, which was pretty great.
So like a fucking scumbag like Matt Kuhn would pay off a bet to a stranger, but your own fucking quote leader fucked you over $24.96.
That's $24.96. Not the full 25. He refunded that. I don't know what that was all about.
What the fuck?
Right?
You can't make this shit up, right? Yeah, right.
And like the thing is, I now know his personal information because of that, and I guess he knows mine because he did mail me the fabric and the numbers, or the letters rather, for my mask. He sent me those in the mail, but I did not give him my address. I gave him a P.O. box that I had in a different county. Because I don't want this dude to know where I live. And I'm fucking glad he doesn't. Because all I have to do is close the P.O. box. That's all I'm going to do.
Nice.
Knows nothing about me. Well, but I'm not sitting there fucking exposing him like, this motherfucker, insert name here, stole $24.96 from me. But it's whatever. I'll be the bigger man.
So that was, hold on. That was his shoot PayPal. That was his legit PayPal with, okay. Now, let me tell you what my interaction.
Well, no, I didn't get his information from his PayPal. I got his information from the envelope or the packing. He sent me this.
I got you.
The fabric for here and this.
Okay.
I still have the envelope put away because I have extra numbers and extra fabric. The reason he sent it to me is because I'm not going to go into a fucking fabric store. Like, that's lame. I'm not that into that kind of shit. Like, oh, I'm going to go into a fabric store, pick out the nice fabrics for my mask. Like, what? He spent like, what, $2 to send this to me? Then
like he went to Michael's and just
$24.96 from me. So I think, he got it back. I bought the mask myself. We had a GoFundMe about the mask. That was just a joke, just to see if we could do it.
Right. Yeah, no.
But like, also just didn't want to spend fucking money on a little wrestling mask. I thought it was stupid. Like, I actually don't own any wrestling toys or wrestling belts. I don't even watch wrestling like that. I know about it. I watched it as a child. Yeah. Like, as a shoot, my mom watches it though. She does. I've taken her to wrestling shows and stuff for like Christmas or birthday, whatever. But other than that, I don't watch it. Now, is it against the rules to slay your mom for being a mark? Yes.
Okay. All right. I just want to throw that out because I don't know the bylaws and all that shit. So
she's not a mark though. She's not a mark.
Okay. That's fair. I just want to know. I just want to know how far like it goes. By the rules of the Grappler Hood.
I guess it could go that far. I guess I could slay her.
That'd be kind of comical if you did.
Go make her make a Twitter so she can block me.
Right.
Like, Mom.
That would be kind of comical, but no, my dealings with Grappler 6 as far as PayPal goes, like I even admitted on my flagship show today, I gave him a shout out. He made the 2 logos for Rad Turtles Wrestling, and I paid him for it. But he gave me his girlfriend's PayPal address. So I don't know if we can talk about later what that might be, offline, but I won't say it publicly. But yeah, he told me it was his shoot girlfriend's fucking PayPal address. So
he sent it to me from his name and address. Like I'm not creepy.
Like why would you put a return? Why would he put his return name and address?
Idea. I guess you have to. I mean, maybe you don't have to put your real name if you're sending it, but I guess he just did it. And then I actually asked him, I was like, dude, is this real? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I trusted you, blah blah blah. So
I trusted you, but then he fucked you over later for $20
from me, exactly. So he knows my information as well, though. Which he knows my name and shit, but it's whatever. I really don't give a fuck.
Yeah. So I don't know. Well, like I said, like Ocho was the one that literally like is such a fucking mark for himself that he never protected his shoot account and all that, and it was so easy to find, honestly.
That was part of the rules of initiation. No, but notice, I got invited by Seven, the actual fucking leader, the guy who slays marks, not a mark, and fucking Ocho was begging to get in because he saw them. It wasn't me. It was Grappler V, R.I.P. Grappler V. He was my boy. I liked V. He slayed marks.
Yeah.
It was 7. It was X, and it was 6. They were all on castrating. The Ocho saw that, marked the fuck out for like, I love Vince Russo, Vinny Roo, and he begged 6 and begged him for months on the Facebook thing because they were on Facebook, I guess at that time, and Twitter, and 6 finally brought him in because they were like little video marks and wanted to do all the YouTube and shit, and me and 7 were just like, nah, dude, I'm just trying to slay marks here on the Twitter.
Right. Yeah, and that's how they started on Facebook as well. And I guess they both got kicked off of Facebook for doing that. And they, go ahead.
When you guys see him, Nine, and he's out there living on this guy's Twitch every second and on his stream and on his Twitter or whatever it is, what are you guys saying about this shit when you see it? Because to me, like, it's fucking cringeworthy, man. It's pathetic.
That's all he does.
It's sad.
It's promoted.
Sad, man.
Yeah, that's all he does. He just @ Russo on Twitter. All his DMs in Grappler chat were, go look at me on Vince's show. Go look at me on Vince's show on the Ocho Vinny Roo. That's all he did. He was just like, go watch the videos. Go watch this. Go watch that. Go watch this. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't care. I'm not going to watch a grown man act like a little boy. That's not what we're doing.
He's a little fanboy. Like, he's marking out for Russo. He's a mark for Russo.
A mark for Vince Russo. That is why he wanted to join us, because he knew, like, we were, I guess, in good with Russo. Now, he seems like he's in good with Russo. He got what he wanted out of the deal. He did. Starstruck and all, but I got to embarrass him in front of his fucking hero.
Yeah, and
how long have you waited for that for?
Yeah, I mean, you must have relished the opportunity to do that.
It was funny. I wasn't even prepared to do it. I didn't even expect to go on the show, right? I was just doing like y'all said, we're doing and roasting him in the chat.
Yep.
And Vince was like, we got the Grappler IX here. How do I know you're really Grappler IX? And I was like, I can tweet it at you, dude. We follow each other, whatever. I can tweet you. And he's like, well, he says he'll tweet it out. He must be real. He's like, can we get you on, Don? And he's like, well, I don't know how to get multiple people on. And I was like, damn. And then I just stayed quiet for a little bit, poked at Ocho a little bit more, and I'm like, well, fuck, dude. I actually want to go at this dude right now. Why can't you call me? Or something. Like, let me call, and then, like, let Ocho call back, or whatever. And he's like, wait, I figured it out here, add person. And then I told him my Skype, and he called me. Now, if it were the Ocho, and Vince Russo called him, and he didn't have to call Vince, he'd be marking out in Grappler chat. Mm-hmm. Vince called me first, guys. Vince called me first. He called me. It's like, cool story, bro.
Yeah, cool story, bro. That's great.
Cool. But maybe if Kobe Bryant or somebody called me, I'd be like, holy fuck, dude. But not Russo. I like Russo. I like what he puts out. But
yeah, I got nothing bad to say about Russo at all, other than his taste in friends. But
I'm
whatever.
not gonna make his taste like an Ocho. But
right.
I firmly believe he said he was doing his call-in show once at the end of every month now, which is 12 times a year, versus doing it weekly, 52 times a year. I think he's doing it because he's sick of the Ocho.
Yeah, I mean, that's quite possible.
And Ocho's on there chilling with that weird Sting kid who paints himself up like Sting before he calls in. Like, all kinds of weird...
Oh, yeah, I remember that when I saw that one time. I went one time, and I thought it was the most bizarre shit in the world, man.
What is this weird-ass kid? Like, he spent all this time...
Broken
to paint
Sting.
himself up like fucking
there's some strange motherfuckers, man.
Like that anime guy who calls in and exclusively talks about anime and sings. Like, that's why I don't watch it. Yeah. That's why I don't, because I don't want to see all these weirdos. Oh, and Ocho.
And Ocho, yeah, who fits right in with the group. So I mean,
I'm just glad he didn't have his headset on when I was.
Dude, when I had him on that episode with Mike, it was episode 44. It was the one out of, I've done 163 episodes, 9 and Rob, okay? I've been doing this for a long time now. Yeah. I know how to do things. It's like an old riding a bike for every time you get up. You do it all the time. It's easy. This is the one, maybe 2 times I've actually canned one show one time because it was so bad with the guests that I had on there. I wouldn't do it. I'm not going to mention their name because they're actually in the world of wrestling and I don't want to, put anything out there against them. But I said it on the show when we had that show the first time with Magic Mike, and I said was on the show with Mike and Ocho and God, I forget who else was on with us. Rob, you weren't on it, were you?
No, I was not on it.
Yeah, I was on that show with Magic Mike and you and 6 and 7.
Yeah, you were on that one. This was one with Ocho though. It was Ocho, Mike. It was episode 44 in the Wrestling with Reality archives. Go back and listen to this thing. It was the worst show I've ever done in 163 shows, soon to be 164. And I said it on the show with Magic Mike with you guys when we were doing that face-off thing that we were doing there. I said, between Ocho deep breathing, him screaming the whole time into the thing. Remember that night I said that on the thing? I said, this shit was the worst. It was the one time I had no other content for that shit for that day. And I had spent so much time putting that shit together. I was like, I'm just going to throw it out there. And then one of the guys that was on the stream with me, God, I forget who it was that was on there with it. He said, I wouldn't put that shit out. It sucked. And then I was like, yeah, I said, I know. It was Maxon. Maxon was on. Yeah. And he said to me, he goes, that shit was terrible, man. He goes, that fucking goof, deep breathing there. He's like Darth Vader. And then
it's like out of his nose, though, I swear. I can't breathe that loud out of my nose to save my life, man.
Right. Yeah.
And he said, I'm sorry, if I get too really excited on it or something. I'm paraphrasing this a long time ago. And he's like, and then when he listened to the show, he goes, God damn, I was so loud in there. And I said, I wanted to be mean, but I wasn't going to be. When I said at the time, I was like, yeah, it's all right. It was what it was. It's okay. Don't worry. I spent so much time trying to edit and muffle those sounds out.
Thank you. You know how fucking hard it is to edit that shit when every time he goddamn screams out?
That'd be hard to listen to edit.
That was an edited version of it that I probably spent 3 hours to downgrade the sound quality on that enough to make it listenable. I've never spent that much time on a show. I'm so good at it, I can usually pop it in.
Every spike in the sound waves, you have to fucking clip it, lower the goddamn volume, and move to the next time he fucking does it. Like, it's such a fucking pain in the ass.
I bet it was just constant, like, just all these spikes.
Yeah. Yeah.
3 hours is probably being nice with how long I took to try to skew that stuff. And I can put a show in, man, and I can do my show in less than 10 to 15 minutes when I'm putting in lots of clips and things and music and editing it and processing it. I mean, it doesn't take me that long to do it all because I know how to do it really well. And I'm just sitting there, that was like 3+ hours, and I was like, this fucking guy is the worst, man. And I don't think I ever had him back on ever again. You know, it wasn't he was a bad guy. No, I was like, no. Never. And
unfortunately, I did twice.
Well, you were talking about doing a show with him, and then
At one point, I found him entertaining. I'm not gonna lie.
What did I say to you? I swear to God, what did I say to you, man? Do you remember?
I'm fucking old. I don't remember what the hell I did yesterday.
Validate this though to what I said, and this isn't an attack on his personality. It's just being honest. I said that dude is a channel changer, man. I said. I said
he's got go away heat.
Seriously, I said he does. A channel changer.
But I'm going to be honest. I found him entertaining at some point, and I want to do a variety show with him, almost like a knockoff of the Larry Sanders show that used to be on HBO, right? Just kind of do like a parody of a late night talk show, and we'll just fucking have different segments and fucking cut it up and ad lib and have a good time and all that. And he was really down for it. He's like, oh my God, tons of fucking ideas when it comes to that. Like, that'd be so great. I still have the DMs if anybody ever wants to fucking see it. I'm not talking out of school here. Like this, I have this in fucking writing, and I passed it along to Grappler IX, and IX says, yeah, that's a really good idea, but we have so much going on right now with the YouTube channel. He said IX and he said me and Ocho are the only ones that are really putting any work into this channel, so we don't have time to do anything else. And he's on the East Coast, I'm on the West Coast. It's kind of hard to get with him, so we're focusing on the YouTube channel right now. If we have time to do it later on, we think that's a great idea. So he was on board for it. Don't let him fucking talk. Don't let him talk shit about us at all. Like, he was totally on board for me to do that show.
Seven said that. Seven was even said it on the podcast. Six was trying to get him to do it and shit. Oh, yeah. Seven even said that.
And they made this false fucking narrative that I was paying Ocho to do the fucking show. That's not true. John had, before I became partners on the Reality Check Network, John had a fee for us to pay $75 a month to help cover his fucking costs on, what was it, Simplecast at that point, and then Spreaker after that. So
yeah, server fees.
With any business, there's overhead. Right. I get it. Like, fuck.
Right. Yep, and it's reinvesting money in marketing and stuff too that we were doing. So it was all going back into everything, And
I asked Ocho if he could split the cost with me if he wanted to put on a show, and he said, "Yeah, that's fine." So there's a fucking false narrative out there that Six put out there, and I think even Seven might have done it. But like, I never begged Ocho to be on the show. I never begged to do a show with him. I thought it was a good idea because I found him entertaining, and I was never going to pay him for doing a show. So let me just throw that out there right now.
Never done a show with Ocho until I went on Russo. Notice I've done shows with Seven and Six. I've never done shows with Ocho. I had the idea of, let's do a watch along of a Brian Alvarez match, preferably the one where he bumps in the kiddie pool.
Yeah, I remember that.
I just want to clown on the mark. Like, that's my big old thing on Alvarez is you wrestle in kiddie pools. Then he's like, good, let's get the Ocho to do it. I literally flaked on them the day of recording. I was like, I'm not doing it. Like, I just made up something. Didn't do it. Yeah. I've actually done that to them a few times because every time I thought it would be like me and Six, me and Seven and Six, which I don't really like doing shit with Six either because he's so demanding and tries to filter me, but he was a lot better than dealing with that guy who acts like a little 12-year-old boy on Xbox, fucking Ocho. Never do anything with that.
And you know what? Ocho never defended himself when I attacked him the whole time. Like, he went radio silent.
Himself with me.
Yeah, exactly. He never defended himself against you. He never defended himself when I got him the second time when I made a joke about him being in the Dark Order and being that fat slob in a mask. And, evil Uno. Like, that was a tongue-in-cheek joke. And Seven was the only one to really come to his defense. And Ocho never fucking said a word to me about it. All these guys do is attack me, and I never say anything. I never brought any of this on myself, and I just sat there and was quiet because I don't want to get involved in it. And
yeah, it's like, I don't want to get banned for slaying marks. No, motherfucker, you're a pussy.
He's a pussy. He's a straight-up pussy.
Like, look at what I say to people on Twitter. Look at what I say and do. I haven't been banned. And he's worried about trying to tell people, I don't want to get banned. I don't want to get banned. You wouldn't. You would actually have to do something besides tweet at Vince Russo all day long.
I even called Russo or him out on Russo, that the show that you're on, saying that all he does is tweet fucking Vince all day. And Vince read that and said, "Oh no, bro, that's not the truth. Come on, man. Don't Exactly. Like, Vince, you have so many fucking tweets on your page. You can't even read them all. You can look at Ocho's timeline, and it is all out there. Like, he fucking tweets Russo 15 to 20 times a day. It's
seriously,
it's weird.
As a
dude.
shoot, how fucked up is it that he is the most normal guy that calls in on that call-in show?
I have to say this right now.
That is kind of fucked up.
I put the Twitch.
I feel sorry for Vince Russo. No one
I
got those numbers.
I put the Twitch on here because I want to see when your buddy goes on there because I don't have. I'm not subscribed and where I can go watch it and review.
Yeah,
so,
I'm not either. I wanted to see myself slay him again, but I'm not 6. Yeah. I don't want to rewatch and rewatch and rewatch and just hear my monotone dry.
You want to know?
You buried his ass. I mean, you really
want to know what some of the things that are said in this Twitch chat right now that I'm reading right here. Vince, what did you eat today, bro?
Bunch of fucking weirdos, man.
Right? Like, who gives a fuck?
I can't get good chowder in Florida. Have you started to pain Cody, whatever that means? The government is spying on Meltzer's podcast. Even they would be laughing at him.
And, like, that's what these people are, man. The brand is just a bunch of weirdos. Then people go around associating me with the brand. Like, I'm not this man's personal army. Mm-hmm. He goes after marks.
Here's That's the strangest one out of them all, and this kid is strange, man. I'll call him out there because he's a little shithead. No, Jack Nicholas, 36.
That fucking guy.
I believe that, my friend. I believe they do it through tracking devices, too. They're talking about tracking devices on people and stuff right now. Vince, you're going to make my wife carry all the groceries by herself?
I'm surprised they haven't asked him, like how was his fucking bowel movements this morning? Like,
that might be in here earlier.
What kind of toilet paper do you use, Vince?
Right?
Extra strong or extra soft?
Who has a bigger piece, Disco Puppet or the real Disco? Oh, my fucking Lord.
All right, yeah, we've given enough time to that bullshit.
Sorry, boys.
But this is not the first time I have been kicked out of the Grappler chat, to be honest. I've been kicked out before. Guess how long the suspension from Grappler chat for me was from 6. Just take a guess.
3 days?
6 months.
6 days.
6 days. 6 days.
Number 6. It goes to his head. Wow. I mean, I'm a little embarrassed about the story. I was drunk, and they were talking about something, and I was like, well, I'm a low-key big hog, guys, and, well, I guess it's not so low-key anymore in Grappler chat, but I got drunk and sent them a dick pic in Grappler chat.
That's fucking awesome.
He banned me for 6 days. Like, maybe I shouldn't have done it, but it was funny at the time, and it's still funny.
Well,
it's funny now. That's fucking hilarious.
As creepy as it was to do that and weird, I mean, you get it, you admit it, sending it out there. You know why he probably banned you is because yours is probably 6 inches bigger than his little winky is anyway. So he was jealous.
6 inches bigger.
That's probably where all the control issues come from. That might have been why he did ban me. He's probably got a little piglet in his pants.
Yeah,
he's probably got a small hog, a little pig in the blanket.
Oh my God!
Christ. I didn't think we'd ever go in this direction, but that's tremendous.
That is pretty fucking great right there.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I guess I'm not so low-key big hog in Grappler chat anymore, but, you know, happens. Alcohol, I have some, wherever the hell I set that bottle, I had some Wild Turkey 101 and some Coke I've been drinking on. And
well, I know it's hard to drink in the mask right now. So,
yeah. That's my drink of choice is always Wild Turkey 101. Bourbon. Probably a Kentucky thing, to be honest.
That is a Kentucky thing for sure, yeah. But, you know, like, oh, Jesus Christ. There's so many other things we can talk about.
I'm tired of Ocho talking about how big his guns were in there, so I was like, I got something that's big.
Oh, that's fucking great. That is so good. Look, where do we see this moving to the future? Like, obviously, I don't think there's any way to repair what's going on between 6 and 7.
I am glad you asked that question.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Since 6 can go around calling himself the leader, they can't kick me out. What are they going to do? Come take my mask? As of right now, you're talking to the leader of the Brothers Grappler.
Yeah, because you're the only one slaying Mark. Still, to this day.
Of Mark slaying. Their logo. That's me.
Yep.
And I am actually currently recruiting more grapplers. My DMs are open. if you are interested, people, and you can email me at thegrapplerine@gmail.com, or you can at me in my DMs on Twitter, and we can talk about it, because I am recruiting more grapplers.
Wow, breaking news here on Rad
That
Turtles
was
Wrestling.
a special announcement I said I had for you all. I said I had some big news I wanted to release here, be heard here first. There you have it.
Well, Nine, I'm gonna, as the OG founder, my partner here on Rob, Rob's gonna always have to agree to this, but as you create your new group, since we were all like real men and sat here and discussed differences beforehand, like real men do, right? And we say, hey, that's stupid shit. Let's leave this in the past here.
It's water under the bridge, man.
Fucking water under the bridge,
I
man.
totally
give me a break.
I respect you a lot more now for maintaining the integrity of the mask in our little fight. And you are a man of integrity. You are the real man of integrity. And you never betrayed the mask. You never betrayed the gimmick. So I have to give you all the respect in the world for doing that. And you got me. You fucking punked me out. Like you made me think that we had legit fucking heat together, and you were just being a grappler.
That's right.
So. Yep. Well, I say this, man. All bullshit aside, things get stupid. It's Twitter. It's ridiculously dumb logic, like we were all talking about.
It's silly that we're having shows about all this. I mean, really,
it really is. But it's entertaining. It's fun here, man. So, like I can say that, we're all men, and we sit down like men, and we talk like men. And that's what we're doing right now.
Have I disparaged you at all tonight, Grappler IX, given our history?
Not at all. Have I disparaged you being the guy that I'm known for? Exactly.
Zero. Exactly. Total gentleman right from the start, as we were talking.
6 and even 7.
No, I even shaved for this and put on my nice polo shirt.
Did you get a haircut at Cost Cutters? Did you do that? Well,
I'm not going to do that.
Nine, I will say this, Mr. Grappler 9 here, as you form your new group. If you would like to ever come on and put anything out there for your new group and what you guys are doing, you have a worldwide platform that streams in over 90 countries every week, all across the world. No bullshit like some other fake ass podcaster.
No, that's the shoot. I even showed Grappler 9 some numbers and DMs that we do, and I never released that info to anybody. But he saw exactly what we do, and he can attest to that too. Like, these guys like Feeney and all them want to fucking.
I could possibly come back in the future and update you on my new recruits.
I'm telling you, you always got a place, man. As you do it now, man. You're a man of your word. You are a man of integrity. You are truly living the gimmick and doing it. So I say, we extend that olive branch to you as we had with 6 and 7 before. And whether 7 likes us or not, and whatever he says it's fine. I have no problems with that.
Yeah, because we deserve some of the shit that we gave.
Sure, absolutely.
I'm not going to apologize per se, but we do deserve some of the shit that we gave.
I get it, man, and I love it how the fact that I got blamed for people getting banned on Twitter, and then he sat over there and admitted it was him, because honestly, and this is a shoot, and Rob knows this too, I wasn't even seeing anything there, man. I wasn't paying attention. I was doing planned ignorance to the whole thing until people started fucking doing it. But whatever to that. But this is about 9 and his new faction that he's taking people out there for, and applications. When you guys get your faction, or if you guys ever want to bring out any information, we will always be happy. I say for my part, I think Rob would definitely feel the same, to come on and share any happenings about what you guys got going on. Rob, are you cool with that?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm total team 9. Whatever. I mean, I'm team Grappler. If you're the leader, I'm. Yeah, I mean, does this mean you can kick Ocho out? Because I would fucking love to see that shit.
Well, I'm sure they're gonna play their little game, but
because they were supposed to be
faction will slay Marks, and Ocho's pretty big mark. 6 is pretty big mark.
True.
Might see something like that. Slay them.
Yeah,
real Grappler faction. Under the King of Mark Slayer's leadership, the true logo.
Yep, you are the logo.
And you notice you said something to me earlier in the DMs. I wanted to make sure it got brought up about 13 popping up out of the woodwork.
Yes, that's right.
Well, he has felt the same way that I have about 6. Naggy, overbearing, controlling, filtering. He just got tired of the thing. And, he's was in all the Grappler chat, and he knew everything that was going on, obviously. I mean, a lot of people know what's going on right now. And me and him have been talking. I don't know where that's going to go, but he likes the idea of my leadership. He likes what I stand for. He likes what I'm doing. So don't be surprised if he might be somebody he might not be. It's where me and him are still in the works on it, but that's another exclusive I'm going to give you all right here tonight.
Wow, that's that, and he's, for all intents and purposes, he's been pretty quiet on Twitter.
He was on Castrating the Marks too. I forgot to mention him. He was on there too with Seven and all of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I do remember seeing that. But for all intents and purposes, he's been kind of quiet the last few months. So
blame him.
No, I don't blame him at all. And to see him come out of the woodwork today and support you on Twitter, that was pretty refreshing to see that, because I didn't know
around. He just doesn't do much because
he sees everything.
Like the texts that I get. You should see some of the texts this psycho sends me.
Yeah,
like it's just, I don't know, man. He lets that leadership role get to his head. It's like he has no control over anything in his actual life. So like this gives him purpose, being the leader of the Brothers Grappler when it was truly Seven.
Yeah,
gives him the fucking purpose in life.
It's just so weird to see him and Seven throw away a 20+ year relationship over a gimmick and a mask. I mean, that's kind of petty, right? You know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure that's more Six than Seven. I'm sure Seven will be willing to talk to him at some point, but it doesn't appear to be that Six wants to even reconcile.
I mean, Six is trying to act like he talks to people and whatever. He still hasn't talked to me. So, like, I don't believe a word that Weasel even says.
And obviously he doesn't talk to Ocho, because Ocho, this is the funniest part of this whole fucking thing. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but, like, Ocho literally had no idea what was going on. He went on Hambone's show and had no idea what the fuck was going on. And he goes on Vince with you last week and still had no fucking... Oh, that's the first I've heard of that. I didn't even know.
Are they working me? I'm so popular.
I don't even know. Are they working me? I don't even know. Like, I don't fucking know anything, Vince. Like, he had nothing of substance to say, and you completely fucking
know anything. It's just he didn't know what to say because I humiliated him in front of his idol.
You did, yeah. You buried his ass. You really did. You made him look like a fucking little punk ass bitch.
This is going to be fun because I guarantee you they're probably going to say they're doing their own group there, like you said at the end of the show. This is like NWO Hollywood, which is you guys going against NWO Wolfpack, man. It's like the originals, the real fucking... Actually, let me flip that there a little bit on that one because NWO Wolfpack actually had the good members in it. Hollywood Hogan had a couple of OGs.
Fucking Horace Hogan and shit.
Yeah, Horace Hogan. Those are the jobbers, man.
And you have the red and black mask. So, I mean, yeah. You should...
Yeah.
But as of right now, I do work alone. I am the lone last gunslinger, Mark Slayer.
Yeah, no, you
are. But I am, like I said, recruiting. I can't have people that just sit around and block people and post fucking gifts all day. Like, I need some people with some class that actually slay marks that aren't in it to meet Vince Russo and yell on a microphone and like make YouTube videos. Like well,
Magic Mike can reach out to you because we know he wants to desperately slay marks with you guys. He so
proved that on Twitter. He said, "I slayed a mark like Daddy Grappler IX."
Hey,
goddamn! I mean, let's start out there. Would you recruit Magic Mike?
No, I wouldn't even go on his podcast. Why the fuck would I recruit him to be a grappler?
That's a fair point. Okay, that's fair.
Bob, he wants to get traction for his stuff, man.
Maybe he can beg Six like Ocho did.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, maybe their announcement tonight, like we said, because they were going to make a big announcement on Twitch, which apparently at 10:30 right now Central, they haven't done yet, as far as I know. So maybe their big announcement will be that fucking Magic Mike Norengonger is going to be the new fucking grappler, which is stupid because people know who he is. So
yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like
right,
like someone that exposes yourself. I mean, there's other grapplers that have exposed themselves, but we won't get into that. But
well, I mean, let's talk about Grappler X for a second. Like, do you have any conversations with him at all? Because I do like Grappler X. I have nothing bad to say about the guy. He's a good dude, and I just want to leave it at that. I don't want no heat with Grappler X. He's, like I said, he's a good dude. I don't know what side he's taken. I don't even think he's taking a side. I think he's just like, what's going on, guys? Why are we being like this? So, like I said, good dude. I like him. Nothing bad to say about the guy. And we all know who he really is. I mean, he's made no bones about his shoot name either. Like, he goes on both accounts pretty often, especially on Vince's Twitch chat. So, but I mean, I won't mention it here, but people know who he is. And dude, he's a hell of a tattoo artist. I'll give him that much. Like, this fucking guy does some really good work, but and he's in super good shape. And he likes to let everybody know that. But yeah, I mean, he's talked shit about me, but again, it's the whole fucking gimmick thing. Like, I have nothing bad to say about anybody really, except for 6 and 8. Like I think they're pieces of shit to me. So
Yes.
everybody
the man
else
stole
is fine with it.
$24.96 from me for a T-shirt he never sent me.
You need to make your own T-shirt to just put $24.96 on it. That'd be fucking that'd be fucking great. Like I would pop for that. So.
It's like 6. I'll give him credit for one thing. He was the guy who did design everything for us. Never designed any fucking thing for me though, because he was always
Obviously,
too busy making shit for Ocho. But I mean, he did a good job with what he did.
He's a pretty good video editor. He's a great video editor, and he made me some
that's
really
how he
nice
filtered it
logos.
so damn much, man. Everything went through him. Had to go through him. And like I said, I'd be on shows with him, and it's not like I was scared of getting reprimanded. It's just he just would take over and be like, I'm the boss. I need to make my voice the loudest and the most heard, even though I'm really monotoned and boring.
You know, I'm gonna call him out on this, and I wish I still had the DM, but like you said, when the accounts get deleted, we lose all the shit, right? So I don't have any DMs left from my interactions with 6, but when you were on the WrestleMania special with us this past April, it was you, 6, and Ocho, with Jeff Johnson and myself. And afterwards, he's like, "Man, that was fun. That was a good time." He's like, "Sorry about 9. He's kind of new at this. I don't think he's very good, on camera or whatever." And he kind of, and I've never said this publicly, or I don't even think I told John, but he kind of disparaged you for being, quote, like a rookie and not having a lot of presence. He thought you were the weakest part of the whole show. That's a shoot. I'm not making shit up. Like, that's legit.
I believe that. Like, that's how I got labeled the Twitter-only grappler. But again, since I have parted ways with 6 and everything, I've done a hell of a job. I shit on Ocho. Like, what? He got to... What's going on? I thought he was supposed to be the cam whore, the go-to, the fucking entertaining one.
He's the franchise. You're the logo, and he's the franchise. So
your analogy calling him a cam girl is fucking tremendous. I have to say that. When I saw you saying that, I was like, you know what? I said to Rob, I sent him a message after the chat, and I said, I fucking like this guy, man. I said, even though we had our tiff even before we, started chatting again the other night, I said, I fucking like this guy, man. I said, he says it like it is. I said, and he's fucking funny, man. Cam girl. Watching you bury him that night was literally...
It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
It was a rainy and boring Sunday night here in New York. My wife is older and goes to bed at like 8:30. So here I am, got nothing to do. I always work late at night, and I'm watching this shit. I was like, this just entertained my night good here. This made it worthwhile.
Yeah,
I wish I could rewatch it, but I don't want to be like 6 and be a mark for myself. But I mean, you can't really see much through this mask.
No, you really can't.
And I thought it was hilarious. I was like, man, the guy that they always fucking tried to make Twitter only, give me some little stupid fucking smoke weed on stream, dude gimmick. Like, what the fuck's wrong with y'all? Just let me slay marks and stop trying to be cute like you think everyone needs to be. Like, you want the Ocho to be whatever he is, a 12-year-old fucking boy on Xbox, a cam whore, whatever his gimmick is.
And you want to talk about somebody who's got a belt collection. He literally did a live stream on his Shoot YouTube account, which, I'll plug it here. It's NJ Wandering News. If you want to see police conspiracies and fucking StarCast fucking videos and shit like that, like, he literally went to StarCast and sucked everyone off that was there. But he did a live stream and had some pretty decent belts. I was kind of jealous about it. Like,
sucking everybody off. That sounds like Magic Mike. It was a fucking tea time in Mike's mouth with so many grappler sacks in his mouth. So many grappler bags. Man, fucking blowing 7, agreeing with everything 7 said. Then blowing 6 and agreeing with everything 6 said. Then being my boy, trying to bury me. It's like, what are you trying to do? You're just trying to ride our coattails about something. I kept telling him, this doesn't involve you. Ask the questions. It's all it needs to be. He's just lucky that someone picked his platform to give him more than 6 downloads.
Yeah, and by proxy, 6 downloads. I think
it got doubled by all the people we just mentioned that listened to it.
Exactly. So, is there anything else you want to say moving forward? I know we're running a little bit short on time, but I do appreciate you being here. But
I appreciate you having me on a worldwide trending podcast and not some D-League jobber jabroni podcast.
Yeah, and thank you for that, because you didn't have to say that. So you mentioned you are recruiting people. which I think is fantastic. And
Like by all DMs are open, and the email address is thegrappler, NINE, @gmail.com.
Or at Grappler IX.
At Grappler IX on Twitter, yes.
On Twitter. So, is there anything else you want to say before we wrap it up here about 6 or 7? Like, you are in direct contact with 7, correct?
Oh, I have me and him he has my real phone number.
And
not changed the number, not my fucking app that I use to get a hold of 6.
So yeah, he has your legit phone number, and you guys are in contact pretty frequently. Did he listen to the 6 interview? Have you talked about it with him?
I do not know the answer to that question. I actually haven't, because he's probably he's done with it all. He really doesn't give a shit.
That's what he said, and I just didn't know if you guys had chatted about anything since.
I don't know. I can ask him, maybe mention it next time we speak or something like that. But to my knowledge, I actually don't know. Like, that's not something I'm gonna bother him about. He's living his real life, not trying to find purpose in a lucha mask.
Now, can you blame him for that? I mean, I know it's sad that he's your boy and he's so creative and he is initially the leader of the group. I mean, is it sad to see him go, or do you kind of applaud him for getting away from all the stupid bullshit?
I mean, like I said, I did leave. He did talk me into coming back. So I can't blame him. Like I said, he's already left before. I've left before that. I just didn't make it as public and obvious. Like, I left for a few days, talked to 7. I'd leave, talk to Grappler V, RIP, Grappler V again. Great dude. Love Grappler V. And he they would talk me back every time. And I would, that hiatus I took where he was calling me every day and talking to me. The fuck he wasn't. He was blowing up my phone to the point where I had to go to AT&T and pay $20, $30 some odd dollars to change my phone number.
Wow.
So more money lost to that guy, the T-shirt money and the price to change your phone number. And that's annoying to have to change your phone number.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, and it's just not necessary. Like, and it shouldn't have to deal with that. And especially with somebody who's supposed to be a quote friend of yours, I guess, like he said. But
this coming from the guy too that sat over there in the Magic Mike podcast when we were all in at one time, called me a creepy stalker, and this is this guy that's blowing this guy's phone up. He had to get his damn phone number changed, and then hacked his 2496. Man, ain't that calling the pot calling the kettle black on that one, fellas?
Man of integrity.
Yeah, man of integrity. That's
big integrity, big time, man. Big stars.
Now, do you think, say 6 never comes back, which is probably impossible. I think he even said on Magic Mike's show that he will fucking come back at some point. But
probably not even off. I don't know if he's off Twitter. I don't know. I just don't think he can get away from 6.
We're pretty sure
about it,
right? And we're pretty sure he runs the BG Mark Slayer's account. So
not sure. Like I said, the girl 7, 6. And Ocho all had access to that account. Ocho used it a lot to promote his videos nobody watched. 6, like he said on that podcast, actually changed the password, so I don't believe 7 has access to it. I don't know about the girl. I haven't spoke with her directly about it.
Yeah. And you don't have any heat with the girl. Is that correct? You mentioned that to me offline. So.
She's always been nice to me. I mean,
and you have no idea who she is, right?
I think 7 or 6, one of the two, know her in real life. Is as far as I know about it.
Okay, that's fair. So if Grappler 6 was gone and he wasn't coming back, would Grappler 7 be willing to come back and take charge of the group and run it the way he wanted to? Do you think he'd be open to that in the future?
I don't know. That would be a question I could pose to him next time we speak. I would obviously immediately step down and give my role to him because it's his creation. I'm just keeping it alive because I had fun with it until somebody made it not fun. So.
And by proxy, he did recruit you. So, mean, so that should make you the prince until the king is gone, and now you're the new king. So
That's right.
Well, I'd like it, and I hope you can find some really nice recruits. And if you get like John said, if you guys want to come on the show and you want to introduce new members or whatever, you can always use our platform to get them over. That's the door is always open. I do want to appreciate you coming on here. There's a lot more we could have talked about tonight, and maybe we'll revisit this here in a week or two.
Yeah, save some for the next show. Always
exactly.
We don't want to give it
all at once, right? So we'll leave them wanting more.
It's definitely not done. I'm telling you that tonight,
this
man.
is gonna be far from. Yeah, no, this is gonna bring
just
up a
the
whole new
beginning
shit.
of. Dude,
yeah.
This is, you think it, for all the drama queens out there that enjoyed the back and forth that we've had the last few months with people and the grapplers in the past, I think that's going to look weak compared to two potentially different factions here.
You think this is just going to end here? Yep. Do you not think Six is going to have to go on a bunch of podcasts to hear his voice and speak about the subject? I guarantee it. And Ocho, you think his loud mouth is going to stay shut?
No, by no means. Well, maybe.
And
he is a pussy.
I guarantee it. He won't talk to me. He'll talk about me. Just like Six. Can't get a hold of him. But he's going to go talk to somebody about me.
All right, I'm going to say right now, Grappler 6, we know you're fucking going to be listening to this, dude, because it's fairly obvious. So, like, the man here is calling you out and saying he's been trying to contact you. Be a fucking man and nut up, dude, and fucking talk to this guy and answer his questions, because he does deserve some fucking answers after the shit that you put on a goddamn hack like
through a podcast. Show some integrity.
Yep. If you're a man of fucking integrity, like you said you were on Magic Mike's show, then fucking prove it, man. Call or talk to Grappler 9 and try to fucking get, if you don't want to set the record straight, give him the fucking decency to at least, fucking give you his peace of mind, man. That's all you got to do.
Because this isn't some like Twitter war with people who are on opposing sides here, and not.
No, this is personal shit that like he fucking had to call him behind the scenes offline to try to fucking find out what's going on. He owes you that. He owes you that much.
Yeah, we were all cool at one point. I mean, 6 was always naggy and fucking annoying. Ocho was, but like, I mean, 7 and 6 were real life friends, and he's like done with him because he's just so overbearing. I mean, I get it. I'm surprised he stayed friends with him that long. Little fucking weirdo,
right?
Stealing my damn money.
Yeah, I mean, even if he doesn't ever pay the money
back. I mean, hell, 7 is a true man of integrity. He offered to give me the money back.
That's a hell of a guy. No. That's an upstanding guy right there.
I was like, no, 7. This. He's like, well, I invited you in the group. I introduced you to that guy. It was kind of shitty and slimy of him to do that. And I'm like, no, man, you didn't do anything wrong to me. I'm fine. I'll take the 24-96 loss. I'll take it.
I mean, I'm sure you'll be all right in the long run. So, I mean,
yeah. 24-96.
No, you can't make that shit up. So, again, dude, I appreciate you being here, and we will have you on in a couple weeks. I can't wait for the shitstorm that's going to come from this fucking show, because people are going to come out of the woodworks on this one. I guarantee it. So, we'll definitely bring you on back here in a couple weeks, and who knows, maybe by then you'll have somebody with you, or I know 7 said he wasn't going to do any more shows, but the door is open, and I'm saying it right now. I have nothing against Grappler 7. I'm willing to mend fences with him as well. I told you that offline personally.
You did,
as well. So if he ever did want to come back and kind of, have an open forum to say whatever he wants as well, let him know that the door is always open for him too. And if X wants to come on, or any 13 or anybody else you have any contact with, because they none of them want to talk to me right now, and rightfully so. But if you want to reach out to whoever and just let them know that, hey man, if you want to say something, these guys will give you a fair and open platform, and will not
platform that will actually get downloads and people will hear. You're not going to be talking to a fucking wall.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So.
Totally unedited too. We're not going to edit anything anybody says. Grappler 9 will be able to attest to that when he hears it come out here in a little bit. It's going to be zero editing, except when we drop the call for a minute and had to plug it back in. That will be the only edit that's in there. We don't.
I'll take the L on that one, because I live out in the middle of nowhere, and I mean, I got your internet, but at the same time, I'll take the L. That might have been me.
Literally, like we will never put ourselves over in the fact for editing to make ourselves look good. For Christ's sakes, I just read on my show an iTunes review where somebody said I was a complete piece of shit on there, and I read it online because I say I will always read the reviews too.
True story. You did. Yeah.
I did.
Probably
I'm not going to edit
that. Probably that pussy Ocho.
Whatever, man. That's what I'm saying. We will never edit anybody if they want that platform. Even if you bury us to the moon, on the show or whatever, you don't like us and want to tell us whatever, we don't care, man. Like, seriously, we would never do that to anybody. So you get a platform where lots of people will hear you, and you get it and know that it'll be unedited and unfiltered, and you'll get your message out there, good, bad, or indifferent.
And we're not even going to plug ourselves right now like we normally do at the end of our show. Like this show is about you, man. This show is about your side of the story, and it was not about us. We're not trying to grab fucking headlines or clickbait or trying to be controversial. Like, we've been monitoring the situations. We listened to the fucking 2 shows that Magic Mike did, and we thought it was only fair to bring you on and give your side of the story. And that's exactly what I want to do. This show was not about us. This show was about you. So I appreciate you coming on and saying what you had to say. Do you have any final words right now, to wrap it up for Six or Ocho or anybody else?
Watch out.
Love it.
There you go. Watch out.
Yep.
I do want to say again, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. I'm glad we could put all the silliness behind us.
Yeah, for sure.
I definitely appreciate it. I'm glad to be on a worldwide trending podcast that actually gets downloads, like not some jobber podcast. I even shaved, like I said. I put on a nice polo shirt to be on here. Got my collar popped.
Yeah, you look great. You
got
really
my
do.
collar popped. I wanted to look nice to come on a quality podcast. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to look like a slob, like, we're trying to flex my guns. I didn't want to do all that.
What's the matter? You don't want pit stains or sweat hanging from your guns there, like some other people?
No.
Yeah,
showered and everything to come on here. I'm squeaky clean.
I'm telling you, I love it.
I appreciate the time and effort you put into looking good for us, because it's all about appearance, right? I mean, that's good stuff, man.
As a leader, as the new leader, I have to.
As a leader, yes, you do have a certain reputation to uphold, and you do have to look like a leader,
like a man of class, like a true king would look.
Yep, that's right. So you look like $1 million, and your mask is even shined up, and it's good stuff, man. You look great. But no, I appreciate you coming on, buddy, and we'll touch base with you here in a few weeks to see what all is going to be the fallout from all this shit that's going on here, from this show, from fuck faces on Ocho and Six on Russo, which still have yet to appear as we're recording this at night. So I don't know what's going on there, but. Maybe we got to them. Maybe they don't want to. Maybe they're trying to come up with a new game plan because they found out you're going to be on this show. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but it was good to have you here, man. I appreciate you coming on, and we'll touch base with you in a couple of weeks.
Okay, like I said, I appreciate you having me on. I just want to give one final plug. I would plug every grappler leaving the show if there were more right now. I'm not self-centered like Ocho. I'm not going to plug just my shit. I'm going to just say my Twitter, because I am recruiting. I just want everyone to be able to hear how to contact me. My Twitter is @Grappler IX. My email that you can contact me through is thegrappler9ine@gmail.com. And that's it. You guys have a great night. I do greatly appreciate you having me on.
I appreciate it, man. And for all you guys that are listening out there right now, good, bad, or indifferent, we're going to tell the whole story, and we're going to put it out there, and we're going to tell the whole truth. So we hope you guys listened to this show, and we hope you guys appreciated it, and we will follow up this here in a few weeks. So thanks for listening, guys. We will see you again on Tuesday night for a Monday Night Raw review show. So until then, you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Take care, guys. Thanks again for listening to the Rad Turtles Wrestling Podcast. Once again, you can follow us on Twitter. We are @RadTurtlesPod, and you can email the show, and we will read it on air. Our email address is radturtleswrestling@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate all of your support. You have been listening to the Rad Turtles Wrestling Podcast, only here on the Reality Check Podcast Network.